Okay, my man Skip is here. Good morning, welcome to DD2.
Yeah.
I got my brother, man, my man. We've been waiting for you, though. My man Skip, man. Good to have you back, bro.
Yeah, man.
How you?
Hey, I'm good, man. About 21 pounds lighter.
I see.
Cut
You looking fresh.
Cut the beard off. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. You know, I've been calling you out all this while.
Yeah. No
Yo,
doubt.
Skip is traveling a lot now, so that's why it's not been here. So we got a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah.
We got a whole lot to talk about. So today we're talking sports and politics. We're just going to try and talk about both of them. I want to thank everybody that's been supporting FaceTime that we launched yesterday. The CEO of Transitioning Queen, you saw that?
Yeah. That was pretty good.
The lady that was telling our story, Miss Jada Jordan, will definitely be bringing her back, you know. So thanks to each and every one of you that have been supporting. Appreciate that. Skip, man, what's going on?
Just chilling, man. Holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane, big guy.
All right, let's get it, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's go at it. I've not seen you in a while now, and you and I, we've been talking on Facebook.
Right.
We always stay in touch, so we might not see each other, but we definitely keep in touch. Do you know you were the inspiration behind FaceTime?
I had no idea, man.
You remember when we were under the bridge, when we shot at this, and I told you to send a shout out, you know, I said one day,
Right.
we're gonna go on live. I don't know if you still remember. You said we're gonna go on live. You know, I said he doesn't even know.
Oh yeah. I remember that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times was hard then, man. We was both there about to cry, man. Hey, man. We was dusted and disgusted then, man. We didn't know where we was gonna turn. We was lifting up rocks trying to find change.
Oh my God. We all got a testimony, y'all. Man, we got a testimony, man.
Yeah.
That was like, what, a year now?
Nah, man. Yeah, probably about a year and a half.
Y'all don't want to know the. It's good to have people around you, man. You can talk to that. We cried that day, man. We didn't cry, but
we cried inside.
The struggle was real.
Oh man, it was rough.
But it's good to have friends during those tough times,
yeah,
man.
My car was on E getting there, but I got there.
Well, it was clean though.
Yeah,
the car was clean though. It was a Cadillac was clean, man.
You, just because you do it bad, you ain't gotta let the world know you do it
bad.
You know what I mean?
Oh man, God is good, man. Regardless, man, God is good. Sir. We are not perfect, but man, God is good.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
So, sports, politics.
All right.
We're gonna use this first part to talk about the politics side, and the second part we're gonna talk about NBA, what you think, and we're gonna write it out.
All right.
I'm gonna start with Steve Nash.
Okay.
He got hired.
Right.
When he got hired, Stephen A. Smith said, white privilege.
Right.
That he didn't even deserve that. He didn't say he didn't deserve that job. He was like, come on. Byron Scott, who is also the coach, was saying, whenever a black coach is going to get hired, they got to build it from the ground up, like Mark Jackson did with.
Right.
Do you believe in white privilege, or what is white privilege to you?
Of course, white privilege exists. To make it even more understandable, to let people know that white privilege does exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they came up with affirmative action. What is affirmative action? Saying that black people of color, will get a chance. Why would you need affirmative action if there was no such thing as white privilege?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So even you have some people that don't want to say it exists. It does. I'll give you another example. I remember when I was working at this job, and I was there for about 3 weeks, and one of the guys that I worked with, he had already told me, he said, we're gonna train you to take over my job. It was another black guy. And when he started training me, I told him, I said, hey man, this gotta be the hardest job in the plant. And he was like, yeah. I said, who had this job before you? he told me it was another black guy. And so me, the thinking guy, I'm saying there's two other white guys here before me. Why didn't, they train those two white guys to take this job? Yet, when I come in, I've been here 2 weeks and you're already training me. There's nothing hard about this job. I mean, there's nothing that's so mind-boggling about this job where you got to have like a certain education. You know what I mean? You can just train somebody to do it and they do it. But, this is the only job that you're going to leave every day sweating. You know what I mean? So why they didn't train these two white guys?
What was his excuse?
And, he never really thought about it. But, he was one of those guys that, got the vulgar language and, blah, blah, blah. So I ain't going to say what he said. But what it all boils down to, that's what it is. And I guarantee you now, I haven't worked that job in about 5 years. But I guarantee you, if I go to that job right now,
It's a black guy.
it's a black guy doing that position. Those are the little things. When also, when people talk about systematic racism, that's another part of systematic racism. I guarantee you right now, because it's been happening so long, I guarantee you right now, if you take an evaluation, and when I say you, I'm talking to the audience, if you take an evaluation of your job right now, you could find somewhere in your job that systematic racism, quote unquote, white privilege exists. And you're saying this particular job right here, why only white people are getting this job? It's not that black people aren't smart enough to get a job. It's not that black people haven't been there long enough to get a job. But it's just been going on for so long and no one has done anything about it. So, hey.
I don't want us to switch away from the sports side of things.
Right.
The comment you made now, if you look at the ITs,
Right.
it's mainly Indians that does it.
Right.
Are we going to say Indian privilege? Because they train for that. They are good with the IT stuff is mainly Indians. It's just like the nurses, mainly Filipino. You know what I mean? But I see what you're saying. Now, let's go back to the sports.
But I don't agree with that. But go ahead.
You don't agree with the IT doing...
No. I mean, I got a rebuttal to that. But
Go ahead. Let's get it.
Right. The rebuttal to that is you can't say mainly when you are looking at a group of people who putting in applications for a certain thing. I.e., say for instance, in your house, you need, I don't know, a pillow fluffer. We're just going to say, you know what I mean? And you take 10 kids under the age of 8 years old to put in resumes for your pillow fluffer. So now, when you hire your pillow fluffers, those were the people that was putting in a lot of applications. So now, at your job, you mainly got those that's putting in that's under the age of 8 as your pillow fluffers. You can't say that they're the majority of the pillow fluffers because they were the only one that was putting in the resumes. Right. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? But going back to about what you're talking about, I'm talking about when you got people working on a job for 10, 15 years and they're applying from within, yet they still don't get the position.
And they'll probably get less money. I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go back to this Steve Nash.
Okay.
We saw it with Mark Jackson.
Okay.
No, it's easy for me now. I'm like, I would go as far as Phil Jackson. It's easy for me to just look. I'll be like, are these guys really good coaches? Because now, like Pop in San Antonio, I'm like, Pop is a great coach because you see him build team over and over again. Somebody like with Golden Warriors now. What's his name? Kerr. And Steve Nash now. Those two coaches, they came to a team that's, as far as I'm concerned, already built.
Right.
Can we consider them, like, if they win championship, can they be considered as a great coach?
No, you can never do that. I mean, and like I say, when I speak, I'm not being biased, I'm speaking from the heart, and I'm just being honest. But even with me, I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to think that Phil Jackson was the greatest coach.
Mm.
But and you have to be wise enough to listen to others and take their point into consideration, and don't just be so selfish to think that you're the only one correct. And I used to think that Phil Jackson was the greatest coach until a guy he drew it out for me, and he said, think about it. Phil had Jordan and Pippen
Mm-hmm.
and Rodman and the Bulls, and then once he left there, he had Shaq and Kobe
Mm-hmm.
and Ori
Ori.
and all those Eddie Jones. You know what I mean? But then look what happened when he went to the
To
Knicks.
New York, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Even though he wasn't the coach, he was front office. So you got those great players. But if you want to look at some great coaches, i.e., look at Popovich. Even though he had some great players, but he transitioned. But somebody like look at Brad Stevens right now. He's on his way.
Yeah.
Somebody Thibodeau, when Thibodeau was in Chicago.
Oh boy, in Miami.
You see,
that
right.
Miami coach.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how you define greatness. It's hard to say that somebody is great when they stepped into greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like how can you say that?
Now let me ask you this. While we're talking about this white privilege, me and my man Gomez, shout out Gomez.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Gomez was saying, man, this ain't got nothing to do with race. This is that.
Yes, it does.
So we're going back and forth on it. And I was trying to tell him, like, you cannot be in America and not talk race. When you see me, the first thing you see is a black man. That's my thought. The first thing you see is a black man. How you treat me from there is what makes a difference. Are you treating me as a black man, or are you treating me as a man? That's what makes a difference. Now, let's talk this white privilege.
Okay.
But Steve Nash got hired. Two of his best players, KD and Uncle Drew,
Okay.
they had to approve it. Will you consider one white privilege at that time, because two of the best players, they are black, and they probably said okay to it?
Okay. Now this is a sticky situation, but I'm gonna address it both ways. All right. So first, we're gonna start off with was it white privilege? Yes. You gotta call a spade, man. Whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? But when stuff is right in front of you, you gotta call it. Steve Nash, he was on First Take the other day, and he didn't come out and say that his situation was white privilege, but he said it in so many words. Because he said, yes, I skipped the line. He didn't have to, really go through a rigorous hiring process. I.e., I skipped the line. That's part of that privilege right there. You look at the other coaches and this and that, Mark Jackson and Tyronn Lue and this and that, whatever you want to say, but it's to the point where America is not even trying to hide it anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, it's been like that for years, but it's even more prevalent because if they wanted to put on a show to even make it look good, they would have interviewed all of these people, you know what I mean? And then said, okay, well, we finally reached a candidate. But it wasn't like that. You can even go back further with years. You look at the Luke Walton situation. Luke Walton, he was the assistant coach for Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
He left there and he went straight to the Lakers. I mean, like, he got hired before the season was over. And then once the Lakers got rid of him, was it Brooklyn? He went to
he has a team now. He's a coach now.
He just the guy don't even have to interview. He just goes from team to team. Yes, it's white privilege.
But what if you have superstars like KD and Uncle Drew that said
I'm about to address right
it's
now.
okay?
And that's what I'm about to address right now. This is real crazy, but and I even feel bad. I had to reevaluate myself and now I'm more mature, and I'm gonna explain how I even got more mature. But we have, as black people, we have racism slash prejudice
Within us.
tendencies within ourselves. Like I got a friend who says, I love black people. Um, I try to support black people, but every time I support black people, they always, trying to sell me something that's counterfeit, or they always trying to get over, or, then, even me, what I'm getting at is, when I was in the military, I used to always say, all the way up to I'm talking about like my 12th year in the Navy or something like that, man. I used to say, I never want a black LPO. I never want a black LPO. And the reason why I used to say that is because in my young career, I had like maybe 5 years in the Navy, and I experienced my first black LPO. And man, when he got this power, it was just so crazy. And the thing I couldn't understand is, like, all the time when I had the white LPOs, they would look out for their own, and I knew someone was racist. But it was like, okay, I know it, so I know how to deal with it. But then when I got a black LPO, and he would look out for the white people, and he wouldn't look out for us. And I wasn't asking for any special privilege, but what I found out is, see, white people will help white people out. And it's okay, because it's like nobody looks down on it, because it's what we're supposed to do. And, we'll take care of black people too, but we're going to take care of our own first.
Which makes sense. It's not supposed to be.
Right, but you see how you say it? It makes sense? But if you take that same scenario, and if you have a black person, the black person can't say, well, I'm going to take care of both, but I'm going to take care of my people first, because then they're looking at it as my boss, which is probably white, is going to look down on me. So even though I'm black, I still got to take care of the white people first. And I still got to talk bad or
down my people.
Yes, to make me look good, because I can't make it look like I'm showing favoritism. So it's you're in a lose-lose situation. You know what I'm saying?
My man Pablo said, Obama said, I am not black people president. I am Americans president. And this scenario that you're painting now seems to be close to it. Let me take care of my people and stuff like that. Let me ask you this though, because I keep saying this based on what you said now. If we have this issue within ourselves,
right,
and the people we are dealing with know that we have this issue within ourselves,
right,
the people are not really the issue though. We need to fix ourselves first.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes, and if you notice, I prefaced and I said I'm going to tell you how I matured, which we all need to do. So now if I come into that situation again, or because I have, and when I do come into that situation in the civilian world, and I know that you're coming in, and I'll have a conference with you. I'll say, hey, listen, big guy, let's talk. Let's see about how we agree, see where we disagree. Let's discuss our values on life. Hey, you just gotta have a man-to-man conversation. Like I say, I'm mature now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more wise. So I don't have a situation, because I don't like saying the word problem, but I don't have a situation with coming to my fellow man, black or white, and say, hey, let's talk about how we want to proceed further. Let's talk about how we both can be successful without me thinking anything negative or vice versa. So that's how we have to come together, and we have to mature. But it's just something, like I say, within us. Even with, you can take a black store and put it on the corner, and you can take a white store and put it on the corner, and I guarantee you, you're gonna have, they can sell the same products. You're gonna have 70% or more of the community going to
The white
that
store.
white store, all because they feel that the white store is more legit. Like, black people got this thing in their mind, and it bleeds over to white people because that's the way we talk in front of white people. Oh man, that's another topic. But that's the way we talk in front of white people. So we give them the impression that black people are trying to get over too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like right now, even with, you look at all the high fashion type stuff, whether you're talking about Gucci, Fendi,
Versace.
Prada, Versace, or all of that. We, for some reason, we trust those people
Mm-hmm.
as if they're not trying to get over. But why do you think that we don't have any really high price, expensive, and I'm not talking about $200-$300. I'm not talking about a true religion. I'm talking about a Gucci, a Prada, i.e. all of that. Why do you think, again, I'm not talking about a Sean John,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm talking about really, really expensive. Why do you think we don't have a truly expensive, high-end, entrepreneur in fashion? Because we don't trust our own people.
And we spend more money on. But if you look at it, I think, to me, I just think it's priority because we spend money for MJ Jordans is not like what you're talking about because that's expensive. I see what you're saying.
Right, but
compared to Versace and all that.
Yeah. And even with that though, MJ is the sports figure that we love, but we all know that MJ isn't touching anything. You see what I'm saying?
True.
MJ is not making the shoes. He's not touching anything. But you look at it. It's been some black entrepreneurs in fashion who tried, but it's like they go and they fall off. But and I'm sure, I'm not down it, and there will be some, like you got some high end now. I'm just speaking of the very, very expensive and also longevity. Like, when will we have a Ralph Lauren of the black community? You see what I'm saying?
So but you saying is us. That's our problem. It has nothing to do because I think we have the resources to do it now.
Right.
This is the era that black people have been the richest they've been. All right. I mean, we can go back and forth. So we already talked about that. Let's end this one with this because the second part, we already passed our time now. And I'm trying to do 2 parts. Are you gonna be able to do 3 parts?
I got like 45 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna be right back. I want us to talk about the Kansas Chiefs and the Texans, the booing that took place that day. What did you think of it? And we're gonna talk about sports and politics. Should we even be talking about it? Because a lot of people say. Thank you guys for subscribing. We're gonna be right back with my man Skip, man. We're gonna talk more about this. Is it maybe black people? We are our own problem, and we keep making excuses, everybody, but it might be us. So we're gonna talk more about this. And the third part, we're gonna talk about basketball all through. I just want us to get this over with as we go through this, though. You got anything else to say?
No, let's get it,
I
man.
appreciate you coming through, Skip.
Hey, man.
I ain't see you in a minute, man. All right, you guys, we'll be right back. Peace.